Harvesting maple syrup is a popular way to spend some time outside in the spring. However, it comes with certain necessities like weather. Newswatch 12's Morgan Johnson joins us now live in studio to explain. Morgan?
Justin, in 2019, Wisconsin was the 4th largest maple syrup producing state in the U.S. And thanks to an early spring here, locals are already getting started, including an educator here at Eagle River. It's a hobby that depends entirely on the weather, but this year had an earlier start.
This year started early. This year is one of the earliest years I've tapped in this area, but it's what makes the sap start to flow is the freezing at night and the above freezing during the day.
Todd Starling is an environmental educator at Trees for Tomorrow in Eagle River. He started tapping trees this week.
And it simply drips when the weather gets warm, and it collects the sap. I've got about 80 out here right now. So this little spout, the sap will drip out of it, collect in the bag, and then I'll come around and collect the sap.
And it takes a lot of sap to make maple syrup. To make 1 gallon of maple syrup, it takes 40 gallons of sap. To get from sap to syrup, though, it needs to boil.
The boiling process? Well, it really depends on how much sap you have, but it takes hours and hours of boiling.
Luckily, Starling is resourceful and got creative with the boiling process.
I reclaimed this out of a dump. It was thrown away, and I made some modifications to it to make it into an evaporator.
After the tedious work it takes, to Starling, it's worth it.
It's fun to make maple syrup because you're making your own food and you get to sit around a fire in the spring. It's usually the first real good backyard fire that I have is sitting around the evaporator.
The maple syrup season usually lasts from mid-March to early April, but like Starling explained, it all depends on the weather. Trees for Tomorrow is hosting an educational day on Saturday, March 20th for people of all ages to come learn about the process of making maple syrup. You can learn more by contacting Trees for Tomorrow. Justin?